Titanfall 2 campaign because I was bored. And I really forgot how much I liked this campaign because that campaign was really good. And I think nowadays the campaign's more relevant than it was back then because the whole thing with BT and everything kind of fits in with the stuff nowadays, kind of like Infinite Warfare isn't brand new, but I kind of got a bit of those vibes after playing this again, and I got a lot of Detroit Become Human feels the with BT and all the other Titans, the way they work and how they meet their pilot and they learn from them and they add things to their database and they start to be able to realize emotions like empathy, like friendship, like sarcasm. BT doesn't quite get sarcasm, but he learns over time. But I really liked it because kind of with the whole Detroit Become Human thing, which was by the way one of my favorite games ever, is that he grew a bond with BT. He cared about BT and BT cared about him back. And it was more than just his code. They had bonded and it was mutualistic. It was a symbiotic relationship that was mutualistic to both of them, and they had both grown fond of each other and cared of each other. And I've got very Detroit Become Human and Infinite Warfare feels with how in Infinite Warfare Ethan dies at the end. Ethan gets kills himself pretty much for you. But I know they set it up kind of like Ghosts, how they can make a third game because they set up BT's helmet with the whole everyone knows the Morse code at the end of the game by now. The whole Coop Jack, are you there? Or Cooper, are you there? Or something, whatever it was. But I really liked the game. Again, I don't know why, but I really wanted to play it sometime recently, so I re-downloaded it to go ahead and play it. And I must say it really was fun to play again. This has been like my third time playing it again. I played it twice when I originally downloaded it. And this time I tried to go through on Master. I couldn't really get too far on Master, so I kind of just played on Hard, like I had done the first two times. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought the campaign was actually good. Kind of like Infinite Warfare. The game was awful, but the campaign was great. It was, in my opinion, great. But Titanfall 2, it's got a great campaign, and it's a great game. And I can't wait for the third one when they eventually do make it. It might be a couple of years, but I did enjoy it. Its campaign was a little bit cheesy throughout some bits of it, but it was still good. But I figured I'd play it again, and I'm glad I did. It was really worth it. Everything going on with BT and Cooper and the Link, it was great. And I was glad to, replay this so I could get the chance to kind of, go back through it with everything I had, with kind of the whole Detroit Become Human mindset, with all that going on, because I had played Detroit Become Human, and I'm gonna actually finish streaming that. I only streamed the beginning of it because when I'm playing a game, I usually don't like to stream it my first playthrough because I usually watch a playthrough of a lot of the games I play before I play them. But Titanfall 2 had a really good campaign, and it gave me a lot of feels from Detroit Become Human and Infinite Warfare. And frankly, I think it has one of the best campaigns in a lot of games. Because in games like Call of Duty, sometimes the campaigns just copy and paste from the last game. Oh hey, can I borrow the script from Modern Warfare 2? Why? Oh, we've got to make a Call of Duty. We got to make this next one. Oh yeah, here you go. Alright, thanks. Scribble out that name, scribble out that name. Scribble out a couple more. Oh, there we go, alright. Copy and paste, here you go. But Titanfall 1 didn't have a campaign, so they had a kind of campaign play, but it wasn't really a campaign, and it was kind of hard to get into. Especially considering I really didn't play it a lot. I only played it a couple times because it was only on Xbox. But they did a really good job on the campaign, and I know I've repeated that over and over, but just it was really good. But with Call of Duty games and all the shooter games, their campaign is cut and paste, boring. It doesn't really speak at all about anything. It doesn't really make you like the characters, grow with the characters, and that was the brilliance of kind of a lot of games like Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare, because Infinite Warfare, I liked the characters. I grew attached to the characters, especially the characters like Ethan or Salter. I think that was her name, Salt? But I grew attached to the characters, and I know forgetting her name was, bad, but I haven't played Infinite Warfare again because Titanfall 2, I play the campaign and the multiplayer. The game's fun, no matter what you're playing. Where Infinite Warfare was kind of boring. Yeah, the multiplayer got really dry really quick. But yeah. Once you've played Detroit Become Human, I really recommend going actually back through this if you've watched it or you've played Detroit. Definitely play this through because you'll get a couple of vibes. Not too many because, like I said, it is an action game that's mostly multiplayer based. So the campaign isn't going to speak on topics that Detroit Become Human talked on. But it does give you that feeling of the AI and how the AI learns and it becomes kind of part of us. And it attaches itself to us and grows with us. And I really liked it. And it was good to go back and to relive some of these moments and to get to, hear BT's voice every now and then again, because this was, like I said, one of my favorite campaigns. And especially since there's going to be a Titanfall 3, or they've at least set it up like how Ghost, they set it up, but they didn't make the next game, which I still do think, since Infinite Warfare was such a bust, I think they probably will actually make Ghost 2. I think that's going to be Infinity Ward's next game, because I don't think they should stick with these futuristic titles, especially with kind of World War II, the way they came out with that, which, once again, wasn't too good of a game. The campaign was actually quite decent on World War II. I've noticed recently the campaigns have gotten better, which is kind of making me sad with the whole Black Ops 4 won't have a campaign. But I don't even think I'm going to get Black Ops 4. It's because it's not even a Black Ops game. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 they were good. And Black Ops 2 was kind of that first leap from the Call of Duty games into the future. But it was only from today, it was only 7 years in the future. It was only 2025. And it was really good. It didn't go too fictional. It didn't go, oh, let's go space. Let's basically make Star Wars, but Call of Duty. They didn't, break down. Here it comes. Cooper, are you there? Or whatever it says. Yeah. But really, the game was great, and I loved it, and I was so glad to play it again. Because there's nothing like Titanfall, They tried to copy the movement system, they tried to, but they couldn't. Nothing beat Titanfall. Because Titanfall's movement system, the way it plays, it was so perfect in of itself, and they can't copy that. They can't come up with things that are just like it, because they're obviously going to get called out. But Titanfall 2 and Titanfall, they were brilliant games. They brought interesting concepts to the game. They brought innovative new experiences with your Titan. You can either pilot your Titan or just run as your pilot. whichever one you feel. And that was actually a big issue with the Titanfall 2's campaign, I gotta say it, because they did kind of split you and BT up way too often. Like every 3 quarters of a chapter, you were on your own and you couldn't get near BT at all. He was kind of just, and he was just talking to you. He was in your helmet. But I didn't really play Halo, so I mean, I don't really know this too well. But as far as I know about it, Cortana's kind of like BT. I think I don't want to say too much, but I'm pretty sure like Cortana, as far as I know, she kind of like grew on Master Chief. I think that's his name. Don't call me out on that. I think I'm right, but yeah. But I'm pretty sure they kind of, fused to where he kind of was whack without her. But once you play Titanfall 2's campaign after playing things like Infinite Warfare and Detroit Become Human, you're going to notice a lot of recurring themes, and not with Detroit Become Human too much, but it's just, the emotion, the way the AI grows. And I thought it was just kind of great because when you're looking at it in new light, like how I looked at it in Detroit Become Human, you get to look at it and you get to notice these themes in a lot of these games. With Ethan and Titanfall, which with BT, you notice they grow and they kind of become part of you. And when you play Titanfall, you don't think of your character as Jack, or at least I don't. I think of my character as Jack and BT, because a pilot without a Titan isn't a pilot. It's like yin and yang. You can't have light without dark. But that's kind of how, I like games that balance it like that. You can't have one side without the other. You can't do this without that. And I frankly loved it. It was great. So yeah, I figured I'd just, kind of throw some thoughts out on it because it was nice to play it again. I didn't really go for the helmets like I did in my first playthrough, which I'm pretty sure I got almost all of them. But it was a lot of fun, really. If you have it and you have space on your system, or you have games you don't play or games you've finished, I really recommend re-downloading it and playing it. Especially if Infinite Warfare, if you want to play that as well, play that too. Or if it's still, you can remember, if it's fresh in your mind, you can play this and you'll notice a lot of similarities. It was really fun to play again. So, thank you for watching. Have a good time. And I'll see you guys when my dad shoots me in the head.